Good evening.
Good evening.
That was good timing. I tell you what, it's Decals with Dads live here at the Georgetown High School locker room. I'm Wally Harmon, Kelly Duvall, Doppler, Dave England. Oh, boys.
Oh, man.
The excitement level for us. I can't imagine these players. Yeah. The dads are here. Just got instructions from Coach Griffin to get the helmet striped, decaled, ready for Friday night. And, man, the excitement level's there. It's time for the new season, the 25 season. Some returning stars, some new names. What to expect in this season. Yeah. So much on tap, Kelly.
I am excited. This is, to many, Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, but they're just sorely mistaken because this is it. This is what I love. Love football season, love Eagle football season, and just cannot wait for kickoff on Friday. And being here tonight for us is just something to get us through past the time and get to Friday night. We're excited.
The break screen you see tonight during the timeout is the highlight. Tomorrow there will be volleyball brought to you by First Responder Broadcasting. It's a part of the LISD Volleypalooza. So that's the break screen. Just giving a shout-out to our sponsors for volleyball. They've stepped up. We can't go far from that subject to talk about it, right. Dave. I don't know that you could compare a lot of towns to Georgetown and how many companies want to be a part of sponsoring the local broadcast, these student athletes. And, man, they kill it here at Georgetown.
Right. We've reached out. Kelly has reached out to lots of folks, and we've got some wonderful sponsors that either returning or want to get on board. And, during the broadcast, we say those names quite a bit, so-and-so for first down, and et cetera, the red zone, et cetera. So we love that bringing the shop local feeling to our broadcast. Yep. Because we get to sponsorship opportunities for volleyball, football, basketball, baseball, and
they make it happen.
Yeah,
and the best thing is they bring it and make it free for the families
right.
and the distant relatives to be able to enjoy it on the SHN Sports YouTube channel, free.
Yeah,
and we love it that way.
And I want to say this: I'm not going to get off onto a whole sponsor tangent, but there's one that I do want to give a shout out to tonight and all through the season. Josh Harris and the Oak Ridge Disciple House, they will be in their 15th year this season of sponsoring these broadcasts. So special tip of the cap to Josh and Oak Ridge Disciple House.
And you see him on anything associated with SHN. He's out in New Waverly with Rob sponsoring there. He's never hesitates to jump on board and be a sponsor to support these high school student athletes, and it's just wonderful. Josh, a great guy who's broadcast with us on different games. And so, special shout-out to Josh.
And we can kind of explain what we are, First Responder Broadcasting on the SHN platform.
Dave, you're exactly right. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening started it all. Graduates of Rob, a graduate of Georgetown High School. They started the SHN Network, Schoening Hipp Network, and they started what is now known as SHN Sports and did Georgetown. And we opened that up. A lot of people came into it. I started by just hearing a broadcast of baseball, ended up doing some Gerald Sports, some Eastview stuff, and then took over with Georgetown with you guys once Rob and Carl had moved on. We just took that to the next level for us. I am currently a peace officer with Travis County Precinct 5 Constable's Office. Kelly is a retired lieutenant from Georgetown PD. And Doppler Dave, a retired firefighter and a current firefighter, retired after 25 years at Georgetown Fire Department, and now with Sam Bass. Just couldn't get it out of his system. And that's the thing. I think the call to first responders is it's hard to just walk away. And Kelly continues to be and is maybe one of the premier instructors in law enforcement classes. I have been to classes in New Jersey, in Round Rock, in Georgetown.
Hawaii.
To listen to Kelly. And,
Hawaii.
Second to none. That was. I don't want to talk about it. We'll get off on a tangent. But that's where we brought about the First Responder Broadcasting, and we keep it focused solely on Georgetown High School sports. You guys have brought me and welcomed me in, and me and my wife, after our kids have left the high school ranks at different schools, and we've settled in here to Georgetown. Yeah. And I tell you what, this is just fun for us. This is hobbies. We all have careers. We all have jobs. We all have different callings. But one of our biggest callings is to bring high school sports from Georgetown to life for friends, family, and everybody else.
I have followed high school football as far back as I can remember. And then here, my son played football here in Georgetown. My daughter played lacrosse here in Georgetown. They both went to this high school. So this place is very special to me. And it's just exciting to be able to be involved in this.
Yeah.
And the fact I haven't gotten fired yet for some of the stupid garbage that I say is good. But, hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've got one daughter graduated. She was class of 20. She was an eye reporter for VAR for 3 years. And then Presley, my youngest daughter, she's coming up. She's a junior and on varsity cheer. So we've been watching Georgetown football since 2012 religiously, going to all of the games. So
and none of my kids graduated from Georgetown, and I got more Georgetown gear than all y'all because I live Georgetown sports.
So
my first season watching Georgetown football when we moved here, Mason Crosby was the kicker for the Eagles.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
It's been a while.
But what's neat about this group now is that we've got consistency.
Yeah.
Rob did it for several years, 4 or 5 years, and it was great, him and Matt Leishman. And then there was some inconsistency, and you would have a broadcaster that wasn't familiar with the student athletes. But now, Wally, he's in here shaking hands with the kids, and Kelly, Kelly wrote a note to a student tonight, and just being around the school, we know the kids. We can look down on that football field, and just by the way a kid's running, we know who that is. We don't even have to look at their number. So we're kind of immersed in the program, and it's so much fun that the coaches allow us to have this much fun, literally.
And one more sponsor shout-out I have to give. I talked to you about this yesterday on the phone. They are not our sponsor, but the things they're doing in this community and the things they're doing for Georgetown High School sports to get their name out there. Honey Baked Ham has opened up here in Georgetown and Westlake, 2 new locations, and they are taking care of the Booster Club and the Taco Fridays for the players. Huge discounts, and so we will give them shout-outs and spots during the games, because what they do for these boys in the Booster Club just accentuates what we are able to do with the Booster Club and their assistance and for these kids. And so Honey Baked Hams in Georgetown, we'll make sure we have all the details for it come Friday night. But they've given me some spots to read that we can use. But just to talk about one, I've talked to several people who have gone out for breakfast or lunch and had a sandwich. It's pretty darn good food. And
these sponsors, and this is the last thing I'll say about sponsors. The sponsors are the reason why these broadcasts stay free, and they are the reason why we have the equipment that we have and the gear that we have. We don't take a dime, but we've got some good equipment. We've got the ability to travel to all of the out-of-town games all the way through the playoffs. And I guess we'll give away our secret. Our sponsors have allowed us folks this year instant replay on the broadcast for football.
So the expectation level is high. Just have grace during game one.
Yes.
Kelly's been studying this for a few weeks, but we invested quite a bit of money into the instant replay. We have invested money into a sideline deal to where Dave now is going to be utilizing his headset on it with a wireless connection. And so Kelly's done a lot of work on that, and so the pieces are coming together.
Speaking of Kelly doing a lot of work on it, I was at Kelly's house yesterday, and his whole dining room table is covered with this equipment. He's been working nonstop for 2 weeks to make sure our broadcast goes off without a hitch. So
I need to make sure there's
when you see Kelly in the stands, thank him.
Need to make sure there's no messages on my wife's phone to a divorce attorney, because it's been packed.
But when does that first game occur? Friday night. We're on the road. It's at Victoria. We'll be down at Victoria Memorial ISD Stadium to take on the Victoria East Titans. They were here last year. Georgetown victorious in that, but hold your horses. An athletic team out of Victoria East, a lot of returning young players coming back. And so not many times, Coach talked about it Monday at the Booster Club meeting. That's like a dream scenario where within the first 2.5 minutes you have 24 points and have run one defensive play. Georgetown, just everything clicked, everything happened. The kicking, the recovery of the fumbles, of the missed kicks, and the touchdowns just happened quickly. Different story. Be prepared for that. Friday night, 7 o'clock, we'll be live. Our goal is to go 6:15 for the pregame, bring you a 45-minute pregame, and talk about things, the starting lineups, and be ready to go live at 7 o'clock with the national anthem, the coin toss, and then Georgetown Eagle football. I'm going to do something different here. Kelly has to leave about 6:30. We have 3 headsets. I'm going to step out. These 2 guys are going to bring you an interview with head coach Chuck Griffin. Talk about the season, what's upcoming. Some of the big names coming back. You have DeJet Walker. You have for the first time in a while, you have a returning quarterback with a year under his belt in Caleb McDougal. You have an Xavier Warren that's committed to the next level at UCLA. You have a lot of experience on the line, and you have some inexperience on the line with new players, new names getting their first starts. But you've got the 2 anchors in the tackles with Sam Lopez and Caden Scherer. You got the experience on the outside. Then you go to the defense, new names, but then the returners, Tennyson Dean, Cole Mitchell, Jihad Abdenur. You got Kate Erickson stepping in, got some time last year as a sophomore, steps in as a starter this year. It's going to be interesting to see what coaches' takes are on it and to kind of look forward to what Friday night has entail. So we're going to take a quick time out.
This dude's Rain Man with the names.
I believe.
I've already started studying the roster.
I'm going to throw a pitch. You're going to stay and I'll step out. How about
No,
that?
you two guys are going to do this one because the rest of the night, once Kelly leaves, then we'll have a couple other talks. We're going to grab a couple of dads in here that are seniors that have been here for a couple of times to do this, and then a couple of new dads and what this is and what it means to them and the opportunity to do this, to kind of share this moment with their kids. And so we'll take a quick time out. I'll go wrangle up Coach Griffin, and you guys will have a great talk with Coach Chuck Griffin. Here in a minute, back from Decals with Dads, live from the locker room. Stay with us.
And we welcome you back to Decals with Dads. Head Coach Chuck Griffin joining us. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Got it, man. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you guys.
Yes,
So, Coach, this is the annual kickoff to the season for the parents, for the dads. How did this get started, and what makes this so special?
You know, this Coach Dean started this years ago. I don't know where he got it from. It happens all over the state now. You know, and some do it with their father and son together. We like ours kind of unique. The dads come and do it. They write their son a letter, leave it in their locker, so when they come in the morning, their helmet's ready to go for the first, kick the field workout on the day before game. So it's an awesome event. Pretty special for our dads to be able to do that, take part of this, and our coaches pick up where they can if there's a dad gone or out of town or whatever. But it's a pretty awesome experience for our fathers and sons.
So, coming into the season this year, this kind of sets the tone with the dads and all that, but you guys have been working hard, hitting each other, and Friday night they get to hit somebody else. How's the preparation been going? And talk to us about Friday night.
We had a really good week this week. I thought today was really good for a Wednesday. You know, our big challenge with this team, I think, is trying to raise the level, the standard of how we practice and what we do. And all right, just what we've done in the past is not good enough. Let's be better. You know, let's get out of the second round. Let's move on to the third or fourth round. Let's get on to the regional finals. You know, let's get all the way to the state championship. Like that needs to be our mindset. So to do that, we're challenging them on how they practice and what they do. You know, so I got after them a little bit today, but to be honest, it was a really good practice.
Yeah.
You know, it was a really good week 1 Wednesday. I would like for it to have been a really good week 3 Wednesday. You know,
Right.
And so that's just kind of where we're at and what we're doing. But man, super excited about our kids. And there's a lot of youth. There's a lot of inexperience. You know, our most of our guys that are going to start on defense this year were JV players last year because we lost starters and backups to graduation. So on the defensive side, and kind of the same thing with the guys that were replacing on offense. So we had a good big senior class last year.
So with the some young guys that you were talking about there, this is almost like a playoff type of situation.
Yeah,
I heard you say at Meet the Eagles that we've got buses or tour buses.
Yeah. I mean, we're treating this road game like that. You know, to be honest, we haven't done very well on our last couple of long trips, and so we're gonna mess with that travel and kind of make sure we get a good routine down for what happens when we make the playoffs. So that's the goal. That's the concept there.
So you talked a little bit about the youth that's on the team. I want to start first talking about some of the guys that are coming back. Defensive side of the ball, you got a couple of key guys coming back that are really leaders on that defensive side. Talk about those guys.
Tennyson Dean is the defensive lineman. He's a great team leader. Does a great job leading in every which way, especially the defense and the defensive line. You know, Cole Mitchell is a 3-year starter. Kind of quiet guy, but just lives by standard and works by standard. So he does a tremendous job as well.
We're going to need Cole to redshirt, come back another year.
I'm all for it. You know, and then you know, Jihad Abnur and Kate Erickson both played a good bit last year too, especially in the second half of the season. And so those guys are back. So we got some guys back that have some experience, and they're just bringing those other guys along and make sure we know where we're at and how we're playing.
On defense, who are some of the younger guys that have stepped up that we can expect to hear their names
called
this year?
We expect Gavin Smith that playing middle linebacker is going to do well. You'll hear A.J. Stevenson played. He was in the rotation last year, defensive line. Jesse Espinoza. Both those guys were in the rotation last year, so they're gonna step in and play. You know, you hear a new name, Reagan Bollinger. Reagan grew up here for a little while, moved away, and came back this year. Is going to be a junior playing safety. Johnny Decker will play safety and corner both, and then Fielding Garner as well coming in at safety. So you'll hear all those names a lot, and you know, you'll hear several different names at linebacker, especially over the next couple of weeks as we kind of figure out who's who and who's going to do what. You know, so.
Offensively, of course, we got to talk about the triplets. Going back to the Cowboy day, Cowboy glory days. It's tough being a Cowboy fan right now, but you've got Caleb Mandula, quarterback. You got Jet Walker, running back. Xavier Warren out on the edge. Those three guys are key, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, the big deal for those guys. Everybody knows they're there, so everybody's going to have a plan. You know, so those guys, they've got a. They're great practice guys. They work really hard. You know, they do a good job in the weight room and those kind of things. So in second sports, running track and that kind of stuff, playing baseball with Caleb's deal. So those guys do an excellent job. Caleb is really turning into a leader and you know, kind of feeling himself as a junior and a second-year guy and kind of taking on the offense on his back and doing a good job with that. You know, we expect Xavier and Jet to have great years again. Both those guys got a lot to prove, and that it wasn't, you know, kind of a one-off, and they earned that scholarship they have, and so we expect big things out of those guys.
I want to talk about Caleb for a couple of minutes. When you got a sophomore starting quarterback, naturally there's going to be that youthful inexperience back there, but he did a great job last season. Went far beyond my expectations. Yeah. How has it been watching his progression to now his junior year, and how big of a difference are you seeing?
You know, we didn't get to see him much during the spring. He plays baseball, you know, and does a good job in baseball. But, man, he's just growing up as a young man. You know, Dad was a coach for a long time, so he's kind of a coach's kid and loves to watch film, loves to ask questions, loves to learn, and wants to be in the mental side of the game, which is really big for a quarterback, you know, not just the physical part. He does great at that, but just the mental piece of, what's the down and distance situation? What are we going to do on fourth down? Are we going to go for it, or are we gonna punt it? Like just knowing those type of things and being involved in it. He's really taking charge and growing in that area.
And last year he didn't know what he didn't know. This year he knows more. And is he going to be harder on himself? And as a coaching staff, how do y'all manage? Hey, it's cool, man. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, I think that's that's the whole team. To be honest with you, they have pretty high expectations, and so I told them the biggest deal we're going to face this year is two things. One, complacency, just because we think we're better. We should be good, so we just think we're going to be good, right? And then you also have kind of the two-headed monster of the other thing is, okay, you have these expectations, and if you're not meeting them early, how do you respond to that? I've warned them all this week, like, all right, Victoria East, I know Coach Ford. He does a good job.
Yeah.
And last year was a fluke, and we got up, 27-0 in 3 minutes or whatever. Don't plan on that happening.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like if you look at the rest of the game, it was much different, and that's the way the game is going to be, right? So, and if you look back, man, we had lots of errors. We just overcame them with big plays, but we gave up a sack, and we had a delayed game, and we had a poor blocking situation, and almost a turnover. Like we did some things that are first game things, right? And so we've got to get better at that and focus on that and realize that, hey, we expect to play this level, but we got to prepare to play at that level. So the idea of planning and preparation has got to be really important for these guys.
It's going to be such a good challenge for the whole
for sure.
program, because the long road trip, stopping somewhere along the way to stretch the legs, keep them loose.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pieces that you're probably juggling.
Yeah.
One last thing, and then we'll let you get back to the dads. You have talked a lot in meetings that I've been in and personal conversations and different locations about this community. And this Decals with Dads is just a small part of that. Talk about the community of Georgetown and how they embrace this program, how much that means.
Well, I mean, it's just a special place. It really is. It's hard to describe the amount of, just the number of dads we have here that are up here on a Wednesday night that are taking care of their kids, and a lot of them were here 2 nights ago for Booster Club. A lot of them were here 2 nights before that for Meet the Eagles, and there'll be a lot of them here tomorrow night for the JV games, and running concession stands and selling merchandise and doing all those kind of things. Our community, they have really high expectations, but they back it up with helping. And, man, so grateful and thankful for that. And we talk about that with our kids every Friday. Friday morning we'll have 300 breakfast tacos in the back of the room, and those guys get to eat and watch a little film and kind of get ready for the game after they work out Friday morning. And I talk to them every week about, man, you need to plan and prepare. You need to play from a place of gratefulness and thankfulness, because it's pretty special.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets this. Not everybody has that. And when you learn to live from that place, right, then you defend what you have. And that makes them go out and play in a different manner because they're defending what they have. They feel a responsibility to it.
Well, Coach, we have watched the progress year after year after year and love seeing this. When the playoffs start, there's only one team that goes home happy at the end of the season. Yeah. And with the season ending like it did last year, and there's not a whole lot of guys this year that were on the team last year playing through that game, how focused is this team for the season?
Really focused. We had a team meeting, players-only meeting on Saturday nights, just the players and me. And I challenge them every year, like, what does success look like for us? Because if we were to say, all right, state championship's what we want, okay, that's great. And we can talk about that because I think we can do that, right? Okay, that's good, but what if we go 14-1? Is that a terrible season? Like, are we going to throw up our hands and go, well, I wish I hadn't played football now, right? So we want to talk about what winning and what success looks like for us outside of the wins and losses. We want those to come, but we talk all the time about the winning as a byproduct of being a champion. Like, you're going to win championships because you're a champion. You don't become a champion because you win championships. Like, it happens first. You learn to prepare, you learn to play, you learn to practice, you learn to do all those things ahead of time, we talked about a little bit today about competitive endurance. and competitive stamina. You know, and I talk to them about their coaches, you know, and how their coaches, man, they got kids that stay up all night and don't sleep, and they got a sick kid, or they have a mother who's sick, or they have lives outside of this that are challenging and hard, and they're here every day working. And that's why what you do in practice field matters every day, because one day you're going to be a dad doing this, right? And you still got to show up to go to work. Yeah. You still got to do a good job, and you still got to do those kind of things, right? So developing that character reps we talk about is vital in these young men. So we feel like, hey, yeah, I mean, we want to go 16-0, win the state championship, right? But what does it look like for us? And you know, our guys, they want to be hungry. They want it to be more than just about them, something bigger than themselves. You know, they want to be they say they want to be obsessed about getting better and getting ready, and then they want to make sure that, you know, it's more than just about them. It's about the entire team. So, you know, for these guys, that's what success looks like.
Good. Well, Coach, we appreciate all your hard work.
Man. Appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you helping us do this and access that, and we try not to annoy you all the time.
No, man, that's great. Great. Yeah. We love it. Yeah. We love it.
All right, Coach. Folks, that's head coach Chuck Griffin. This is Decals with Dads, and we will be back after this short break. Stay with us.
It is a great time, but we beat it.
Hey,
all right,
man,
we got
sometimes
it back.
you get lucky.
I tell you what, we'll fix it out. We'll figure it out. We're back here, Decals with Dads in the locker room. It's fun to watch this. So I just gave you a hard time. I was like, oh, you're a pro at this. And it's the same every year. It's like it's a brand new step.
Absolutely.
How big is this, though? It's like the final culmination that these kids are ready to go to war on Friday night. I asked a couple of them beforehand before they got out of here. Mm-hmm. How ready are you guys to hit someone that's not your teammate wearing the same uniform, the same helmet? And it seemed to be overwhelmingly excited.
Absolutely.
This offense, back for year 2 as the OC. What's going through your mind? You got a returning quarterback, a returning running back that went for multiple yards on the season.
Yeah, something like 2,500. Yeah.
And then receivers on the outside with experience coming back, especially one, a big recruit going to UCLA. How ready is this? Are you for year 2 at the helm of the offense, and this offense coming back with a little bit of experience for you?
You know, just like I told you, man, it's every year it feels brand new. And despite the returners we've got back, you know, every year you start from scratch. And your plan may tweak a little bit because of the guys that you got and you know, what you've got coming back or what might be new and who you're trying to break into the system. But that's the beauty of this system that they've been running for a very long time here at Georgetown High School. You know, when I got here in 2016, you know, this is year 10 for me. When I got here in 2016, you know, I felt like, wow, okay, we really can do anything. And, you know, Coach Griffin was the OC at that time. And, you know, Coach Beatty was just a receivers coach right there, you know, coming in at the same time. And over the years, there's a little bit of variation and a little bit of tweaking each and every year based on your personnel, based on your experience, you know, based on your quarterback. You know, you want to make the game easy for him. And now it's just, you know, we feel like we've got a good plan. We feel like the install process and the off season and everything culminating and leading up to this this point in time has led us to a point where those kids feel like we are unstoppable. We can go play with anybody. Let's go let it loose and go show everybody. And I think that's the confidence that they're feeling right now. Now, we got to put that together in practice, obviously, and every day.
2 steps in that as well. Coming into last year, 8 new coaches on this staff.
Yep.
A few new ones this year as Coach Anzuris moves on to Hayes High School as the head baseball coach. Congrats to him. Coach Durrell doesn't go far. He just goes across to a different type of playing surface over to the baseball field as the head baseball coach now, and so a couple of replacements in there. What is the camaraderie of this coaching staff in year 2, having the core group back together? How has that benefited you guys as a coaching staff to get ready for season number 2 with this new group?
Well, I think it's been, phenomenal. I think that's one of the biggest things that you think about from a coaching perspective is, so many new guys and new spots. And now you've got year 1 to year 2. It's almost like week 1 to week 2 in a football season. You make that biggest jump. Well, now everybody knows where things are, You're familiar with how people work and how people operate and how people think. And hopefully we're all on the same page and lock in step because we've done it before, a year before, where we kind of felt each other out for a couple weeks, kind of felt each other out for an entire year of getting through an off season together. You think about it, that last spring last year, man, there wasn't a lot of people here, a lot of people got here in the summer. And so now we had an entire off season together. We had a January and a February where those down and dirty months of, hey, how are we going to get through boot camp? Who do we really need to lean on? Who do we got to put some pressure on? Who are the guys we got to kind of get through this process and teach through? And so as coaches, that's where we feel like we can take the biggest step forward.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like last year, you got the promotion, but this year you've got a full year to prepare. It's your house.
Absolutely.
You've got full control of the reins, so that's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
It felt a little different going through practice this year. It felt like I actually had a little bit of room to breathe, should I say? It didn't feel like you were just flying by the seat of your pants saying, okay, what's next? What's next?
Right.
Kind of know what's next now. Even though I've been here for so long, you would have felt like it should have been more comfortable. But anytime you're in that new position, that first time feeling, it's just like some of these guys, they're going to get these racing stripes on and these blue G's on that nice silver helmet. It's the first time seeing it. Man, there's just a feeling to it.
How big is it coming back with some of the starters you do have coming back in your second year to have a returner like Caleb McDougal at the helm behind the now not coming in fresh as the new quarterback, but now coming in with a year under his belt, and then you add in that stud running back Jet Walker who only went off for a couple of 2.5 thousand yards last year. What a phenomenal year. How big is that for this offense to at least have some of those anchors coming back to help lead some of the new ones that are coming up for their first experience on Friday night?
So huge. It's just so important to have some of those pieces, not just from a talent perspective where you're, I'm just trying not to screw it up when you got playmakers like that, just kind of get out of their way sometimes. But from a coaching perspective, they know how we need to practice. They know how we need to prepare. They know what we went through last year going into the playoffs and having to go through Region 2 and navigate that process where some of it was new for those guys. And now they know what it takes. They know how we need to practice, and they know what the standard is. And the same thing from me. They know what to expect from me, and so they know if it's not what it needs to be, they're the ones that are holding other players accountable and holding the unit accountable like, hey, this isn't good enough, we need to step it up, or, hey, that's a great job, let's keep it up. And that's the thing that I think is most important is that not only holding each other accountable, but being positive when we do get what we want in practice. We see those looks, we get that effort. Man, it's about that positive affirmation saying, hey, that's a great job, let's continue to do that.
Something I've been thinking about is we've got the stars that are getting a lot of media attention throughout the state. Everybody knows who they are. I think there's got to be some excitement for the whole team because you've got players behind them that have played on the 5 of the football teams. This year we have 6, but 5 football teams. They've played this entire time. It's got to be exciting for somebody on the opposite side of the field across from Xavier because he could get covered up and you could have a tight end. You could have another wide receiver that we don't know their names as well.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just as capable. They're just looking for that opportunity they're going to get that opportunity to shine. Whoever's, if Jet needs to take a breather, we're going to have somebody come
I'll
in
tell you
behind
what,
him.
you're going to learn
so-
the names Weston Stewart and Zachariah Guyton and Copeland Madre and Regan Terosian. And I mean, you've got – those are just a couple of the guys that you're going to see on Friday night, that you're going to learn all those names real quick, because, man, it's not just those guys with those stars. We got some real football players here that have, like you said, been in the program for years, have gone from step in the process, but also more importantly, they won a lot of football games last year.
Yeah.
They understand what it takes to win.
Yeah.
They understand what it takes to prepare to win. And so now when you step up, there's still that, hey man, we went undefeated last year. I like that feeling. I like preparing to feel that on a Thursday night and a Friday night. Now, how do I take that next step and do it on Friday night under the lights?
Right.
You talk about Copeland Madre. That was a name that came up. Talk about a good spring. Copeland kind of
fantastic spring.
Kind of it almost, you hate to say it for a kid that's a senior, but almost became a man in that springtime and stepped his game up to another level. Excited to watch what he does to now throw some confusion when you've got a young man like him on one side, Xavier Warren on the other side. But then you give up on those slots. You've got Westfall. You've got Corbin Carroll will come back. You've got Brad. You've got DeRozan coming.
Yep.
Put him at the tight end spot, but he's got the wide receiver speed. It's crazy, the weapons there. Yeah. If you're Caleb McDougal, you got to be excited because you've got weapons out there to at least throw at, and they're spread out all over the field. How do you – I'll let you go on this one. How do you set off Friday night at Victoria like the first 3 minutes of last year against Victoria at home?
I mean, is there any way to make it better than those first 3 minutes? I mean, my goodness. I mean, the first three plays, actually, if you count the delay of game, they were not great.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was pretty good for the next, 2.5 minutes. So, my goodness. I don't know if there's a way to top that. I think we prepare hard. We, leave no stone unturned, and we go out and play hard. I think that's the most important thing. And, we talk to those kids about, hey, it may not be 30-0 at the end of the first quarter. That doesn't mean that we're not doing our job, and it doesn't mean we don't keep pressing. It may not be. It could be 7, could be 14, could be a tie ball game.
It should be 60-0 at the end of the game.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, and that's it. Right. Like, it doesn't matter what the score is.
Yeah.
We're going to play hard no matter what. We talked about that in film today, man. If it's 50-0, it doesn't matter. We want to go out. We get the ball. We want to go score. It does not matter what the score is. Right. We want to go out and execute. And I think that's the most important thing for our kids and for everybody to understand when we step on that field. We just want to go execute. No matter how fast, how slow we need to do it, if we need to milk some clock and win the middle 8, and score last.
I think we have a way of doing that.
Yep, absolutely.
We've got a guy.
We got a guy. We got a couple guys.
A first down every.
We got a guy and another guy and another guy. And then not one tight end, not two tight ends, not three tight ends.
Yeah.
I mean,
the weapons are galore on this offense.
Yeah.
We asked the kids, how ready are you to go on the field on Friday night? You, year 2, OC,
right.
How ready are you to put this team on the field and get after it Friday night as a coach?
I want to say this. You are ready, but you never feel like you're ready until you're there. You're prepared. You went through everything, meeting as a staff and going through scripts and going through, okay, what happens when this happens? What's our next step in the process? What's our plan for this? What's your plan for this? You go through all the contingencies, and then you step out there and you're like, oh, man, it's here. Yeah. It's here. And I'm just excited to get to that point to where you don't want to go through any more of the pregame. You just want to blow the first whistle and kick off and go. Like, that's the point when all right, it doesn't matter at that point. Let's just get through. Please play the national anthem. Let's blow the whistle and let's go play.
Flip the coin already.
Yeah.
It's time
Here
to
we
kick
go.
the ball off. It's our offensive coordinator. It's Coach Flo, back year 2 at the helm to run this offense. And I can't wait to watch Friday night. 7 o'clock, Victoria at the Memorial Stadium. We'll be live and bring it all the action. We'll even focus in on Coach Flo to see how
don't
he
do
goes.
that. Don't do that. Golly.
We'll take a quick time out here at Decals with Dad when we come back. We go to the defensive side of the ball with Coach Laux. Stay with us live here on the SHN Sports Network. Back live here on the SHN Sports Network. We're at the Decals with Dads live here in the locker room as the helmets start popping up with the logos, the stripes, the stars, showing us Friday night is around the corner. And we go to the defensive side of the ball. Coach Matt Laux in season number 2 at Georgetown. We talked to Coach Flo. It's a different animal for him. 10 years here, now 2 years at the helm of the OC as the OC. Now in your second year at Georgetown at the helm of the defensive coordinator position. How excited you get this season underway? We got names coming back that we're used to. We've got some new names popping in there. What's this defense got in store?
Well, I mean, the good thing is we got a ton of guys that know how to win. Obviously, we won so many games last year with those younger guys, but this year we just got a bunch of new guys out there. We got a few guys with experience, but I think these new guys are ready to go. You're going to see a lot of guys in different positions than they were last year because we love to have speed on defense, and we're going to fly around and put guys in the best spot to give us a good chance.
We talk about speed. You go to a Jihad Abdenur in the back. You go to you talk about a Cole Mitchell at the linebacker in his third year on the field and going to be one of the key starters and the seniors. And then a Tennyson Dean on the edge there. How big is it to have some of those key returners knowing that you've got some new blood? You've got that Gavin Smith coming in at linebacker, a name we've heard pop up, Maxim Rahimov. Going to be out this week, but another name coming in. These names coming in behind these kids. How big is that to have those returners coming back to at least be the leaders of it and prep these other guys for Friday night, 7 p.m.?
Yeah, I mean, it's great that we have those senior guys at those core positions. So each position group has a guy who's been there and who's done it. They're on our leadership council, and they do a good job of leading those guys. And it kind of mirrors our coaching staff right now, too, on defense, where we've got a guy who's been here, older guys that have been DCs, head coaches, but we've got a young guy at each position as well, and they're kind of learning. They're bringing the juice, and it's been a good dynamic so far this year.
As the defensive coordinator, you bring in some new pieces after Coach Anzaris moves and leaves the team. Coach Durrell moves to the baseball side at the full time, and congrats to Coach Durrell. We still love him, but he's going to be on the back burner right now in football. Still running the important stuff up in the booth. But having key components, key positions be replaced on the coaching side of it, how big of a challenge is that for you? But how big of an asset has the two guys coming in, Coach Knowles, Coach Schlack coming in to add to this defense?
Yeah, so moving Coach Lewis to linebackers from D-lines, he's kind of familiar with what's going on, and then bringing in Coach Slack, who's fresh out of college, played DB and quarterback, and he knows the position well, and he's, I give him full control of the corners right now, and he's taking it and running with it and doing a great job. Just really good football mind, knows football, and everything that I'm seeing, he's seeing the same thing. So we're always on the same page. And then bringing in Coach Knowles from Benold, like he's kind of been in the system for a year now. He understands everything, so it's been a really good transition as far as everybody just being on board with what we're doing. And we're just trying to get our base stuff installed so we can get to all the fun stuff and get after it out there down. So
for Friday night, what is something that you're seeing or anything that you're seeing out of Victoria East that you're kind of focusing on or thinking about? What are you seeing on? You probably don't have a lot of film from
Yeah, we've got about 10 plays of a scrimmage, but just kind of knowing what they do and what they did last year to us. I think they want to assert their dominance running the ball, and I would assume trying to keep the ball away from our offense. So that's going to be our focus is stop the run first, and that's always every single week we got to stop the run. So that's always number one, and then make sure we got a good plan for the RPOs and deep balls and a good pass rush plan too.
Talk to us about that D-line. I'm seeing some size. I'm fortunate enough to be on the sideline, and I'm seeing some big size on that D-line. Talk to us about that.
For sure, and they're not just big, tey're fast. Like we got 4'8" guys, Tennyson's a 4'8". We got 3 guys running 4'8", 4'9" on the D-line, and they're big and they're physical and they're aggressive and they freaking knock people back. We go against a huge O-line every single day in practice, and they're held their own. They're not getting blown off, so we're expecting to do a great job on the front, but also be elusive. And we don't like our guys just holding blocks and being meat magnets. We like getting off blocks and getting to the ball. So That's kind of a key to our defensive line is speed and size if we can find it.
One of the things we've always heard is it 9.590?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Talk to us about that.
So 9.590, that goes way back before I got here, but it's getting 9 hats to the ball. 9.590. 9 has to, within 5 yards of the ball on 90% of the plays. So that's kind of the focus of the defensive line or the whole defense in general. But swarming the ball and being in pursuit and great angles to the ball and making sure that you're showing up in the picture when the film is stopped.
Some of these players are going to get their first Friday Night Light effect on Friday at Victoria High School. How do you keep them from the shell shock? How do you keep them just trusting the process and not letting it get overwhelming for them when you see Nate? A.J. Stevenson's played before. Jesse Espinosa's played before, but now in a starting role on this defense. How do we not, and how do you guys as a coaching staff make sure the lights don't become shell-shocking to these players and keep them ready to go and focused through the hype of what is Friday Night Lights coming from experiences before, maybe on Thursday nights?
For sure. Well, I know me and some of our other coaches, man, we're on them all the time, every single day in practice. So it is high pressure every single day for them. They know that this is how we got to perform, and we're going to hold you to the standard, and we're going to let you know when you're not meeting it. But coming around to Friday Night Lights, we're going to try to keep them calm early on and make sure that we're not trying to do too much. Just do your job and then get to the football. You don't have to be the hero every play. It's not your job to make a tackle every play. It might be your job to control an offensive lineman so your linebacker can make the play. But we're going to preach that. Make sure you're not trying to do too much and just do your job, get to the football, and see what happens.
I know it's all about the team. You never want to call anybody out, but this fall, who has been somebody that you're like, wow, these or a few of them, these guys have really, we didn't expect that. Wow, look what we're getting. Look at these kids.
Oh man, we have a few guys that we got from the offense this year. We're somewhat deep at the running back position. Liam Nelson made a huge jump. He was playing running back last year on the JV, and just from spring to now, like the improvement that he's made at playing safety and just his willingness to tackle and get to the football has been awesome. We've got competition in the back end at every position. It's just been really good where they're competing to be on the field, and we're going to see a lot, probably 6 to 8 guys playing in the back end tomorrow night to see who's going to be that guy. But them and then Gavin Smith, coming off that injury last year, he didn't play football, but actually seeing him play and how he's fitting to the ball now that he's back into football mode, and man, he's just been all over the ball and doing a pretty good job leading the defense out there when it's really his first year playing varsity football. So he's been really good. Healthy-wise
going into week 1, how do we look as a defense?
We look pretty good. We got, like I said, we got depth everywhere. I feel pretty good about it.
The boys are ready to go. I talked to a couple of defensive players before we got started, and they got booted out of here. How eager are they to hit someone that's not wearing the same uniform, the same colors as them? Jihad put it well, and he's like, it feels really exciting to know now I can go and go hard and not feel remorse that I'm going to hurt my teammate. I'm never trying to hurt someone, but I'm trying to make sure I do my job, and I do it at 100%. You just saw the excitement in his eyes. How ready is Coach Laux and this defensive coaching staff for Friday night to get this season rolling?
We're ready to go, man. I can't wait for that first third down. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That's I get excited, and it's not just for me to see the defense work, but it's for those kids to have success. Nothing gets me more fired up than just them executing a defensive play and having success on it, and hopefully a tackle for loss or a sack.
Speaking of third down, it's like you go to Kyle Field. You've probably been there before. How do you get Burkle back? How do you work with the band? Do you work with the student section, the Blue Crew? Do you talk to them ahead of time and say, hey, we need all your energy and don't make a sound on offense, but we need everything you've got. Bring it Friday night on third down or fourth down. How do y'all do that?
There's no communication between me and them, but that's a great idea. I know. Like when I was at China Spring, third down, we blasted music so loud that we were blowing our speakers out every 2 weeks. But and it was like the Purge loud alarm just blaring in the middle of the country, really. And it was like everybody knew it was third down. First time everybody's looking around like, what is going on? Like nuclear warfare or something going on. But here, they get the scoreboard going. I think everybody kind of understands the importance of that third down situation.
Well, just so you know, we just promoted Dave to community and student engagement and involvement. So we're going to work on that before week 2 when we come back to take on
they got the
Belton.
They got the air horn for when the offense scores. I've got an old fire truck siren. That's an old Q2 siren that we need to wire up for the defense. And you have
third down.
A dad up in the stands.
That's
his job. Wind up that siren on
absolutely.
third down.
I love it.
We'll let Coach Laux get out of here. It's awesome. The excitement across the board. We enjoy it so much up in the booth and to call this and then to sit here through the practices and come into Champs Camp and watching these kids put in the work all year round to buy into a program and to trust you coaches with everything to put it all on the field on Friday night. The excitement level is there for this Friday night, live from Victoria High School or Victoria Memorial Stadium. Their field, kind of like Birkelbeck, will be there for the home game. to take on the Titans. And Georgetown will be on the road in week 1. We got our longest road game out of the way for the season right off the bat. But we'll be live 6:15 on the pregame. We'll take a quick timeout. We come back. I made him stay, and he's going to come talk to us. It's the president of the Booster Club, Jeremy McDougal, come talk to us about the pregame, the tailgate going on down in Victoria. And we'll be right back live here on Decals with Dad, live from the locker room. Thanks, Coach Louch, for joining us. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Back live here, Decals and Dads in the locker room, and we're ready to, like you said, short and sweet. We're going to wrap it up, but it's the Booster Club president, Jeremy McDougal. Jeremy, we've seen each other multiple nights over the last few weeks
sir.
Between volleyball and Booster Club stuff, Meet the Eagles, and now football on Friday nights. It's finally here. This Booster Club has been busy.
Yes, sir.
Meet the Eagles was Saturday night. That was successful. Talk about that real quick and just what that does for this program and how big it is for the Booster Club.
Yeah, the Meet the Eagles is one of the biggest fundraiser for our football program, and all the people that have to be involved to make it go, and it was a huge success. I think we brought in about 60, 70, and we don't know what the bottom line is, what the profit yet. We're working through that, but it's a huge deal. Big props to the community. I think we fed 750, 800 people.
Wow. And in a very efficient manner.
Yeah,
it went very well this year.
Yes. We learned a lot last year, and we switched it up, and it was great. And we had a good time.
And make sure we thank your wife.
Yes.
Rachel did a great job of.
She did the whole thing.
Yes, and so she was eager to say, if anyone wants to step in next year, please feel free. But she did a great job, and all the parents and volunteers that were up there decorating, getting it all ready, down to the closing part. The food was great. The boys, it was fun to be there and support them and to meet the Eagles, but the way this community continues to gather around these student athletes is just second to none.
And one thing I'll say about it, the boys coming in, they serve the food to, all the patrons and everything else, and they're fantastic. Anything we ask them to do, they're yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Our football kids and the coaches do a great job here with the program that we have.
Even hairnets.
Yeah.
Seeing some of those linemen with hairnets was pretty entertaining. But then you see that no one is above a job here, and that's what I loved about
100%.
it. You have a D1 commit in Xavier Warren going to UCLA that's a star athlete, pushing the trash can around, cleaning tables.
tables.
Nothing above it. And you've got your linemen serving the food, which wasn't too surprising. The buffet killers are back there serving it up. But these kids, everyone helping out and making it roll in these parents and these community members, just watching and seeing the participation of them interacting was awesome. And so a great experience, and it was a great night for Georgetown Eagle Booster Club. The season rolls on Friday night. It's on the road. The big thing that we enjoy and we love to be a part of on the road, we find a place to go. It's the Friday night tailgates. What are we looking for Friday night in Victoria?
We are going to Froggy's Pub and Grub or Grub and Pub or something like that. Try to be there around 5 o'clock. We try to, get everybody fed and get out of there and get over there so we can help set up the tunnel and do all those things. But, yeah, Froggy's Pub and Grub.
If we separate Booster Club, since I drew you in here, as a dad, putting the helmet stickers on tonight, your son in his second year at the helm at the quarterback as a junior, so it's fun to know that you have a potential for 3 straight years of the same quarterback in a program. And Caleb, one of those kids that is just well-grounded. I love talking to him all the time. I get to see him at volleyball, too, watching his twin sister. What's that like in a dad here in year 2 to come in and be able to write a note to him and put these stickers on and the meaning there for you as a dad?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's an honor for all of us, dads, to get the opportunity to come up here and do that. We don't get to see them. I mean, we do get to see them, but we don't. They're so busy, and then we go to the Friday nights. We get to watch them. We're not down there with them. It's awesome to be able to do this and then watch them just thrive as they grow and become great young men. Credit to the coaches in the program, just like we talked about with Meet the Eagles, molding those guys to be great men. So
Friday night, it's on the road. Next week, we'll come back home for the opener here, the home opener against the Belton Tigers. Then we get the tailgates at home. What does that look like for week 2 so we can get people understanding what the expectations are at home? I know Stan's done a great job this year on these tailgates.
Yes. Yeah, Stan Lyons set them all up. They're already all done, all the out-of-town, all the in-town. If you come to a Booster Club meeting, you'll get it on the back of your sheet. You'll be able to see it all. But out-of-towns, we'll announce where we're going. But in-town, we're in the pavilion, kind of in left field of the baseball field. And we want everybody to come. It's a great time. We have every one of them catered. It's just we want everybody there, the camaraderie. The boys will walk through about 5:15. So if you want to be there to see the boys walk from the locker room to the field, be there before 5:15. Yeah, it's a great time. We want everybody to come out and enjoy it. So
it's fun to line that street. The boys don't want to smile. They're all business. But you could see it in their eyes and their faces that how much that means that street is lined up as they come across to head to the stadium. But it's also fun to be a part of that and that camaraderie amongst the crowd and the parents and the fans. To be down there and share that meal together, and how cool is it to have companies come out and be willing to sponsor those?
Well, and that's what I was going to say, just along with the Meet the Eagles and all the sponsorships we've got all year. I mean, the community is awesome. And, there's some of these food restaurants and food companies that want to come out and help support and, get to know everybody. I think Tejas Meat's going to be there, Happy Chick. G10 Builders is, Matt Smith, Gavin Smith's now playing. He's, they'll do one of them. But all these people come out and help support. It's awesome.
So years ago, I have 2 daughters.
Right.
So I don't have any skin in the game, but Kelly was like, join the Booster Club. I was like, but I don't have a football player. He's like, it's cool, man. Join the Booster Club. We're going to be down there on the sideline. You can help out with the inflatable run through. I'm like, are you serious? Because I'm already, homer. Been going to the game since 2012, and so somebody that doesn't have any kids in the game, can they be a part of it? Can they be a part of the Booster Club and get to come to the meetings and stuff? Talk about that.
Absolutely. Every Monday night we have meetings in the field house in the classroom at 6:00, and everybody's welcome. You don't have to necessarily pay money or anything like that. Just show up and see if you're willing or wanting to help. Also, the great thing about Mondays now that we're in season is Coach Griffin will they'll show highlights. The coaches will talk about the sub-varsities from freshmen all the way up. Coach Griffin will go over the varsity game. He'll talk about the next opponent. So there's a lot of information there. If you're a fan of Georgetown football or just want to see what it's all about, to show up and get involved.
So if you bleed blue and you're a lifer, what's the website?
Oh, gosh. GeorgetownFootball.com. Is yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I just type in Georgetown Eagle football and
it pops up. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly.
I got to throw those plugs in there.
I go to so many times it just pulls up on the laptop when I start typing Georgetown. It goes to Eagle, and it's either football or volleyball.
I mean, I can find out. I can text my wife. She knows everything. It's the same old thing. I don't really run this. So
tomorrow night we're going to have volleyball, or tomorrow during the day. 11:15, I believe, is the first match.
Yes.
Georgetown volleyball playing in Volleypalooza Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll bring you tomorrow's volleyball. Friday, it just depends on the timing, because then we'll be headed down for the game number 1 on the road to take on Victoria East on Friday night. Come join us at what is it? Froggy Snaggy's Pub?
Froggy Pub and Grub.
Down to Victoria. Just type in Froggy's and you'll find it. Come join us. We're going to be there live in the stands. We're going to be setting up in the stands on the visitor side this year at Victoria. We're going to be broadcasting from the stands. We'll have our equipment set up and hopefully get back down to Froggy's to get some dinner pregame.
So if you like listening to the voice of the Georgetown Eagles, little pro tip, sit close to us and you get to hear the play-by-play. Just saying.
Maybe. We'll see what happens there. But then we'll be back Saturday for volleyball. All sports going crazy here at Georgetown the start of the year, and a busy week this week for volleyball and volleyball victorious last night. Just to make sure we let you guys know, they did win 3-1 over Vista Ridge. Vista Ridge is what I usually call it. Oh,
What was
walk-off
it?
ace.
Walk-off ace,
by
yeah.
Jordan Pitcatley, I believe. No,
No,
Amory Anderson.
Amory, yeah.
And she dropped it right on the back line to walk it off with that ace to take the win over Vista Ridge. Tonight it's been Decals with Dads, a fun night. It's so cool to look up in here and see these helmets on top of the pads with the G logos, the stripes on them, ready to go for these kiddos on Friday night. For Coach Griffin, to Coach Flores, Coach Laux, thanks for joining us and talking Georgetown football. Next week we'll be live at Camp Brightside, 6 p.m., I believe it is. We'll have the Coaches Show live from Camp Brightside. Come join us there. Food, drinks, everything you could imagine, and we'll talk Georgetown Eagle football live from Camp Brightside. And that's where we'll be most every week except for the Thursday night week. We will probably be on the field here on the track for games going on, so Coach Griffin could be around that. But we'll bring it to you live, everything for Georgetown football live here on the SHN Sports Network. Mr. Madua, thank you so much. I'll see you again tomorrow and then Friday and then Saturday. We'll sign off tonight. Dave, it's football time.
Yeah, maybe we'll spin the camera around and we can get a good shot as we close out the evening.
Decals with Dads. It starts off the football season for us, but tonight we can wrap it up now, ready for Friday night. We'll be live 6:15, the pregame on the SHN Sports Network, 7 o'clock. It'll be the national anthem, the coin flip, and then kickoff, and it's Georgetown Eagle football. Join us tomorrow. We'll be live on the SHN Sports Network for Georgetown volleyball. We'll bring you Eagle volleyball action live in the LISD Volley Palooza. I'll let Dave start spinning it, see the helmets. We'll sign it off, and remember, it never cost you a dime to be kind. Have a great night, everybody.